When is a poem about a hurricane not really about a hurricane at all? Let's find out. Hello Revision Squad, how's it going? It's me, Liam, aka Mr. Knight, aka DystopiaJunkie, and today I'm back with another analysis of one of the WJEC Eduqas Poetry Anthology poems. We're going to be looking at Rita Dove's Cozy Apologia in this video, which is on page 11 of the WJEC Eduqas Poetry Anthology. As always, please make sure that you've grabbed a pen to write with, at least 3 different highlighters for your annotating, and some extra paper too, just in case you run out of space to make notes. If you've watched any of my other videos in this series, you should know the drill by now. But if somehow you've not watched any of those videos yet, then a link to the playlist that they all appear in should be appearing on screen about now. So how about you click that link and go through the entire anthology? Anyway, in this video I will read the poem, discuss its context, provide a close reading of the poem. I'll also consider the poem's meaning, its mood, and also the poet's motivation for writing it. I'll think about themes, and finally at the end of the video, because I'm lovely like that, there will also be an optional revision task for you to complete. So if this video helps you with your GCSE revision, then please do let me know by dropping it a like and subscribing to my channel, DystopiaJunkie. That way, all upcoming revision content will end up in your subscription feed, and if you turn on that notification bell, you'll even receive a notification whenever I drop a new video too. Right, so generic, cringy, YouTuber, self-promotion stuff aside, here is the poem. Make sure that you're following along either on screen or, maybe slightly better, by using your anthology. So, Cozy Apologia for Fred. I could pick anything and think of you. This lamp, the wind still rain, the glossy blue my pen exudes, drying matte upon the page. I could choose any hero, any cause or age, and sure as shooting arrows to the heart, astride a dappled mare, legs braced as far apart as standing in silver stirrups will allow, there you'll be, with furrowed brow and chain mail glinting to set me free, one eye smiling, the other firm upon the enemy. This post-modern age is all business, compact discs and faxes, a do it now and take no risks event. Today, a hurricane is nudging up the coast, oddly male, big bad Floyd, who brings a host of daydreams, awkward reminiscences of teenage crushes on worthless boys whose only talent was to kiss you senseless. They all had sissy names, Marcel, Percy, Dewey, were thin as licorice and as chewy, sweet with a dark and hollow centre. Floyd's cussing up a storm. You're bunkered in your eyrie, I'm perched in mine. Twin desks, computers, hardwood floors. We're content, but fall short of the divine. Still, it's embarrassing, this happiness. Who's satisfied simply with what's good for us? When has the ordinary ever been news? And yet, because nothing else will do to keep me from melancholy, call it blues, I fill this stolen time with you. So there we go, that is the poem. Now we've read the poem, it's good for us to think about its context. We're going to look at two different contexts for this poem, and first we're going to think about Rita Dove. So Rita Dove is a contemporary American poet, meaning that she is alive and writing today. Importantly, Dove has been publishing poetry since the 1980s, which means, importantly for this poem, that she has seen the advent of the 21st century. Dove is a highly celebrated poet and writer. She was the US Poet Laureate in the 90s and has won many prizes and awards for her writing, including the Pulitzer Prize, which is a massive, massive deal. Dove is known for combining the historical with the personal in her writing, which is something that we might see in this poem. She is married to another writer called Fred Veblen, to whom this poem is dedicated, and we'll cover that in a little bit. Rita Dove has lived in Virginia since 1989. Now, Virginia is an American state, which is a bit like a county here in the UK, just much, 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 much bigger. Virginia is on the east coast of the USA. We can and should also talk about Hurricane Floyd. Hurricane Floyd was a very powerful hurricane which struck the east coast of America in 1999. In addition to that, it absolutely devastated the Bahamas. Cozy Apologia is set during the tumult of Hurricane Floyd and is, to an extent, about it. Now, people all along the east coast of America, as far up as North Carolina, which is the state immediately below Virginia, were evacuated from their homes, resulting in the fourth largest evacuation in American history. Floyd also caused mass floods and $6.5 billion in damages. Hurricane Floyd was not just a bad bit of weather. Floyd was deadly. 76 people died in total due to Floyd, including 51 in North Carolina, again that state just south of Virginia, and even 4 people in Virginia itself. Therefore, a poet writing from Virginia would have had a very real first-hand experience of this event. At the very least, they would have seen news reports and then also the direct impact it was having outside their window. Okay, before I get started with the analysis of this poem, now is your chance to grab your 3 highlighters and to set up your key. I've mentioned the importance and usefulness of titles in all of my videos in this series, and this poem is no different. On screen now are the 2 questions that I would like us to think about with regards to this title. So what do you think? Pause the video and have a go at making your own annotations, and then feel free to share them down in the comment section below. Considering the language of the title, we see one word that we might feel familiar with, cozy, meaning snug and warm, and one that seems a bit unusual, apologia. An apologia is a noun, is a written defense of something. Therefore, the poem's title literally means a defense of coziness. So perhaps Dove is defending the warm feeling that she has for her husband, perhaps in spite of the chaos of Hurricane Floyd. Therefore, the title establishes at least one of the poem's key themes. To me, the dedication is a structural feature, as it helps to shape the poem and contextualize the meaning of its words. The dedication makes it clear to the reader that this is an autobiographical poem, as we know, using context, that Dove's husband is called Fred. This could show multiple themes, including autobiographical writing and love. After all, you don't just dedicate a poem to anybody. Here we have the poem's first stanza. It's very rich, meaning that we can say quite a bit about it. In particular, there are 7 questions that I'd like us to focus on. Have a read of them, get those cogs in your brain working, pause the video, see what you can do. The use of pronouns I and you in the opening line help to create a very intimate tone. This poem is clearly addressed to a specific person, Fred, and written as a specific person, Dove. The images listed in the second line are all quite ordinary. Dove says that these things could remind her of Fred, suggesting that their love is quite ordinary and normal, and that this poem is heavily sentimental. Dove also claims that writing reminds her of her husband, Fred. This could suggest that he is equally, if not more, important to her as writing is. And this could also reference the fact that Fred Vebaan is also a writer. By using the noun hero, Dove establishes a traditionally romantic mood, as heroes are often seen as symbols of love throughout literature. Dove compares her husband to a knight in shining armour, through images such as astride a dappled mare, or silver stirrups, or chainmail glinting, which has created a cliched, if not almost humorous, image of love. The images on these lines suggest that Dove and Fred share a traditional love. Dove uses lists a lot in this stanza. The second and third line are lists, and almost the entire of the second half of the stanza is one big list too. These lists are emphatic, as in they really emphasize the idea that they are discussing. In this case, I feel that the lists emphasize the strength of Dove's love for Fred, which is both traditional and ordinary. Rhyming couplets are a poetic form that are traditionally associated with romance and have a literary history showing this. Rhyming couplets are also a very traditional poetic form, meaning that they've been used for a long time. They are also very straightforward too, and all of this, I suggest at least, means that the form of this stanza is quite traditional and simple, just like the love that it is focused on. And there we have the poem's second stanza. It's another quite large stanza, and as such, there's loads of annotations that we can make. In fact, there are a whopping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 questions that we could consider here. So what do you think? Pause the video now if you want to have a go at answering those questions for yourself. Those questions that were on screen just a moment ago, well, those are yours to think about for a little bit longer, I'm afraid, because this is the end of part 1 of my analysis of Cozy Apologia. Part 2 will be dropping very soon, and to make sure that you don't miss out on that, why not subscribe to my channel and turn on that notification bell too. Anyway, I hope you have an awesome rest of the day, and I'll see you very, very soon. Cheers.